for this one, this live stream. But I hope everybody is doing well. Shalom, family. Okay, here. All right. Okay, we're just going to give everybody a few minutes to come in. Hopefully, they will be coming shortly. All right, so let's see here. I gotta be able to view this. Okay. All right. Shalom. All right, good. 80 people. That's good. Very good. Okay. Okay. We got about 100 people. All right. Shalom to everybody in both on my main channel and my secondary channel. Those of you that are here, shalom. This will not be long. All right. This afternoon, I had to take my son for a follow-up visit with the doctor, and he and I were talking about the coronavirus. And he gave me some really good information, y'all, that I think we need to hear, especially if you or loved ones are taking meds. This is definitely going to impact people that take medication. So what he was telling me was, in the medical field, that's what they're concerned about. They won't have. My son is doing so much better, Christopher. The doctor actually believe he is about ready to be released and not have to go back too much longer. So it's real promising, but thank you for asking. So, ladies and gentlemen, some of the information he gave me was very interesting. And then I came home to look up the articles to see the U.S. dependency on meds out of China. And ladies and gentlemen, this is deep. Damn near everything that you see in one form or another, if China didn't make the actual medicine, he's doing better. Abby, thank you for, all of your prayers, and your well wishes is deeply appreciated. Definitely. Well, he was telling me, even if the med is not made in China, the active ingredients in the medication came from China. So this thing gets real deep. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that I can go over what he told me and what I found in an article that's very similar to what he told me during that visit. Let's give me 1 second here, because I think this is really important. Even if you're not taking meds, you may know a family member or a friend or somebody in your life that do depend on medications. Because without medication, some people, they could potentially die without their meds. And you also know that if you get any kind of infections, all antibiotics, damn near every single one on the market today, comes out of China. All of the antibiotics come from China, y'all. All of it. All of the active ingredients that you see in medication, whether it's over-the-counter medication or pharmaceutical medication, all of those active ingredients comes out of China. I think like over 80% comes out of China. So as this thing goes on with coronavirus, this is going to impact even people that don't have the virus, but can still potentially die without their medication. So this gets really deep. So before I get started, I just want to make sure everybody can see my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Yeah, you know, Abby, it is scary, but we must know these things, because without us knowing this, then we don't know what to anticipate. It's going to be tough. You know, even for my brothers and sisters that are Hebrews and you're praying, it's still going to be tough. So we can't pretty up this thing because people may be sensitive about it. We need the truth, even if that truth is going to hit us between our eyes. We need the truth, period. All right. So let's get started. So I found this article when I returned home with my son. U.S. dependence on pharmaceutical products from China. So the stories are already coming out of empty shelves in America, and that's only going to get worse. So let's get into how much the U.S. depends on meds from China. So the U.S. really relies heavily on China's for pharmaceutical products. Okay, and this is deep. The topic remained, so this is somebody by the name of Bob Woodward. He had a book out called Fear Trump in the White House. Now, part of what he discussed in this book is China using meds or withholding meds from the U.S. as a means of a weapon. So he was saying 97% of all antibiotics in the U.S. came from China. And he was saying, if you're the Chinese and you want to really just destroy us, just stop sending us antibiotics. He's right, because you need antibiotics after surgery so that you don't get any infection. You need antibiotics to heal infections, viral infections, bacterial infections. So you're using antibiotics for a number of things. That is scary to know that 97% of the antibiotics come out of China that's used in America. Okay, so it gets even deeper. While the Department of Defense only purchases a small quantity of finished pharmaceuticals from China, about 80% of the active pharmaceutical ingredients used to make drugs in America are said to come from China. And now they have India here, right? But here's the drawback. Here's the drawback. India gets their supplies from China. Because I was even listening to some people say, well, if China can't supply us, maybe India can. Not really, because India, in order for them to make their drugs, they get their supplies from China. So this is deep. This is really, really deep. Doxycycline, which is an antibiotic that is used for anthrax exposure, comes from China. China also exports raw material for vitamins and antibiotics. So if you take any type of vitamin supplements or any type of you're taking any type of, vitamin B or a multivitamin, that can be impacted too, because the raw material that makes those pills come out of China. Wow. You got to think about all of this stuff. You really do. While the potential exposure to raw material supply disruptions drive part of our fear, concern about safety and efficiency of Chinese made pharmaceuticals is another component. In the summer of 2018, one of China's largest domestic vaccines, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the vaccines come out of China. So, vaccine makers sold at least 250,000 standard doses of vaccines for diphtheria, tetanus, and whooping cough. So, those vaccines, ladies and gentlemen, came out of China. It came out of China. If you have a loved one that take blood thinners, now my mother took heparin, and I noticed heparin is imported out of China. Now, my mother's no longer living, but when she had heart disease, she was taking heparin. And heparin is also a blood thinner that's given to you after surgery. So even if you normally don't take blood thinners, if you have any kind of surgical procedure done, they're going to give you heparin. And that comes out of China. So at least 81 deaths in America, is from manipulation with the pharmaceuticals, but we're not talking about anything like that. So it's true that many Indian pharmaceutical firms are leading API manufacturers, but India depends on China for sourcing nearly 3/4 of APIs in generic drug formulations. So, no, you can't just shift over to India, because India is really going to be in the same boat as the United States as the coronavirus continues to disrupt everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need the truth. We need the truth, because just understand, this mainstream media in America is not going to tell us all of this. They're not going to tell us nothing. They're going to keep us in the dark about this. So it is up to us to keep ourselves informed about what's going on. No vaccines either. Those vaccines come out of China. You know what it is? The United States went overboard in shipping all of this work over to China. They should have kept, even if not all of it, at least 25% or more here in the US. But they went overboard because, see, they were thinking about that dollar. Oh, getting everything done as cheaply as possible. That's all they had on their mind. This is the American way. They always want something for nothing, y'all. That's what they want. And sometimes something for nothing is not the best thing for you to have. Americans only want salaries that keeps up with the economy. You got stuff out here that costs so much damn money. So, of course, in order for people to survive, they want to make a certain income. But see, they took all of these jobs and shipped them over to China because, see, they can pay them pennies on the dollar. So, instead of paying somebody $30 an hour, they can pay somebody in China $3. Yeah, $3 an hour, I was told, is like the standard in China. $3 an hour. That's it. So They see, oh, well, $3 an hour to get the same job done. So then now they ship all those jobs over here. And now look at the situation we're in because of the coronavirus. You got manufacturing companies all over China shut down. Yes, $3 an hour. $3 an hour. But see, China works 6 days a week. They only get 1 day off. That's it. And they have to work from 9 to 9, from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. That's how they work in China. And they work that 6 days a week. They get only 1 day a week off. That's it. That's why they flock all of those companies over there. And now you have a pandemic going on, and the main country that much of the world depends on for supplies are screwed. RT News put out a video of a supermarket over in Italy, and you should see all of the empty shelves over there. The store shelves are empty all already over in Italy. So you're not just talking about empty store shelves, y'all. You're talking about medicines that people need, especially your elderly people that need these medicines for all kinds of ailments that have everything to do with aging. And then you have a lot of very young children and elderly people that have compromised immune systems. Yeah, they're talking about empty store shelves, and they're saying if the meds, because the doctor I was talking to said if meds are scarce in this country, the few meds that people are going to be able to get are going to be sky high. They're going to jack up the price. The prices are going to be just unbelievable on the few meds they're able to get. So again, we have to plan ahead for these things. So China supplies meds for diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. And we always know somebody that's suffering from cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. All of those meds come out of China. All of it. Yeah. So anything they are able to get, you can best believe is going to be a lot of price gouging going on. A lot. Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, I want y'all to really think back on something I'm going to toss out at you right now. Do y'all remember, it must have been like around 2011, 2012, where they were bringing all these FEMA coffins in? Remember that? They had all these black coffins for FEMA. And people were buzzing and talking about that around that time, like around 2011, 2012. I really think they knew this was coming. I really do. I mean, you may think I'm crazy, but I really, truly believe they knew this was coming. I don't think we saw that for nothing. I think people got it wrong. They were like, I heard all kinds of things. They're going to round up black people and put us in FEMA camps. I never did believe that. I never did. Trust me, I went through Hurricane Sandy. I saw how FEMA worked. Okay. There is no way FEMA would be able, the way they work. Y'all saw what they did to Puerto Rico, right? Left them high and dry. There's no way the way FEMA works, they can round all of us up. Now, I never did believe that, but some people did buy into that. But in my opinion, they saw some kind of big pandemic coming down the line, and they knew they would need those coffins. I really believe that was the case. They saw this coming a long time ago, and they knew they had to do something to get ready for it. And that's what all those FEMA coffins were for. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. So this is deadly. That's really the bottom line. Whenever you have a lack of imported medical products coming into the country, this is going to be a huge problem. So a lot of your insulin, your ibuprofen, your medical devices like for ultrasounds and stethoscopes and all kinds of medical products come out of China. So this is going to be a huge problem, y'all. This is going to be huge. But I want to get to something else. I want y'all to see this. I pulled up, empty store shelves, and this is what came up. Coronavirus could start to empty shelves in some US stores by mid-April. So you can see grocery store shelves empty in Milan. So over in Italy, they already got empty shelves from supplies out of China. So they are, look at this. They get they get their food from China. Look at the shelves. If you think this is not coming to America, you got another thought coming. It's coming here too. Y'all see that? This is no joke. I'm telling you. All right. So you can see already Italy is feeling the crunch. And Mexico is already reporting a shortage of medical supplies for respiratory masks due to the coronavirus. So that's coming out of Mexico. Stores feared empty shelves as coronavirus hit supplies. Customers are noticing empty shelves at Whole Foods, and they aren't happy. Empty Walmart shelves are a sobering reminder of how much we depend on truckers. Southeast grocers see empty shelves. I'm telling you, these stories are coming out, y'all. Corona threatens to leave U.S. store shelves bare. So we just better get ready, family. We better get ready for the inevitable. This stuff is definitely coming here. You're not going to see it over in Europe, but it's not here. Yeah, but we won't have to riot over anything, And ladies and gentlemen, if you can get some seeds, and I don't care if you can't grow nothing but tomatoes, grow them damn tomatoes, okay? Lettuce is another thing that's very easy to grow. And if you like greens, greens are practically indestructible. You can't even mess up growing greens because them damn things, they live through everything. Those suckers will push through the snow and keep right on growing. So try to do whatever you can, but we must prepare. If you take meds, try to find out what the herbs are so that you can at least get that in, because it's about to get really tough around here. I was out and about today with my son, and I could see the fear in everybody, especially at my son's doctor's office. I see the fear on their faces. And we really had a pretty deep conversation about how the meds are going to be in shortage in this country. And I could tell his doctor was very serious about that and very concerned. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can find some herbs as alternatives to things that you normally take, I would say go that route and try to stock up. One of the things I noticed in Italy, man, they didn't hardly have no toilet paper in that store. I tell you what, you could probably take a lot of things from me, but damn it, you can't take my toilet paper. You can't take my toilet paper. I'm dead serious. You can't take my toilet paper. That's right. You can buy, because I got a relative in Georgia, my cousin, and that's what him and his wife do. They go down to the farmer's market, they buy everything in bulk, and then they get Ziploc bags, they chop everything up and put it all in their freezer. And they said it lasts them for a few months. And they've been doing that forever. He has a hard time growing in his yard because the soil is like mostly clay. So they just go out to the farmer's market and just rack up on a lot of stuff. And then they just sit at the table and just spend their time cutting it all up and bagging it. And that way it lasts a long time. Yeah, you just have to do what you got to do. No, we don't need to be in riots, but you can grab the popcorn and watch the riots, but we don't need to be in any riots out here. So yes, please listen when people are telling you to stock up, because the empty store shelves are already happening, y'all. And I was listening to a video a few nights ago, and they were talking about some of those Chinese manufacturing workers may not even go back until May. And they're worried because they're saying they got apartments to pay rent on and houses to pay for, and they're scared. They're scared. They're like, we got to work, we got to eat. They need their income. They got to eat. So many of them are petrified right now over there. It's not quite as bad for us as it is for China right now, but those days are coming. And boy, I tell you what, it is going to be something else if we make it to summer and these store shelves are empty. I tell you, it's going to be people in this country losing their minds for real. Absolutely. Well, no, everybody can't, but just get the things that you can, Ellen. Everybody can't. In some cases you can and some you can't. But, those things that you can get, even if it's something small, just try to get it. But we should be okay. One thing about Black people, they've already put us in the worst kind of conditions that you can be in. And we've always managed to make it out okay. So all we can do is pray to our Heavenly Father that He will have our backs, and I believe He will. We have been the tail forever. We've been the tail forever. I don't think you can do anything to us at this point that we can't overcome. I'm serious, you know? And, thank you for bringing up the 99-cent store. That's another thing. Damn near all of these dollar stores around here get all of their products from China. Almost everything in these dollar stores, they damn near the whole store comes from China. So do whatever we have to do. We just got to do the basics, and some of the things that you can live without, just try to live without it for now. You know, exactly. Right now, keeping yourself healthy and strong, that is key. That is really key right now. Well, you got to dig for those stories, M. West, when it comes down to Africa, because you know what? Africa is never on the US agenda. When these, anything major happens, they'll just push Africa on the back burner. That's what they always do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, they have put us in every kind of condition you can imagine, and we've always come out okay. So we just got to put the things that are most important first as we enter these tough times. The stock market is showing you that things are getting ready to get worse. And ladies and gentlemen, I was listening to Big Judah, and he was saying that the wealthy over in China, they're flying the hell out of there. And they always say in the last days, keep your eyes on the wealthy people and you'll know how bad something is. They're flying out of there. They're leaving the country. You know, and that is a clear indicator that it's pretty bad. Those folks are getting out on their private jets and everything, and they're getting out of China. All right, family, I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I just wanted to go over with you, some of the discussion I had with my son's doctor today, which blew my mind. And I said, you know what? This is something I definitely have to talk about, because we don't think about meds and stuff like that. Sometimes we think about a lot of the superficial things first. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming. And wherever you are, have a wonderful day. I just don't want my people to be caught off guard for the things that are about to happen in this country. So please stay safe, family. Peace.